Welcome to everybody. Let's see, we've got Bevi, Mordko, Castle, and Zenka. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining. How's everybody been? Get there. There we go. And Ori Alchemy. Hello. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? And what have you been up to? Agatha's here. Hello. Ooh. I think we might have some technical difficulties today. I've already been battling in the past half an hour to actually get everything working properly. So my camera won't put my old one on. Yeah, I'm freezing a bit. And then I tried to connect and it gave me an error. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, how's everybody been? Put this now. Machine spirits work today. Yeah, I think the camera keeps freezing here. But let's see if it corrects itself, otherwise I'm going to have to switch to my laptop. Maybe if I don't move too much, I know it's still freezing. Hang on, it's just gone on to... No, it's still USB. I'm actually going to put that over there. Maybe that'll make it better. Okay, alright. Let's just wish for the best. Right, Psycat, hello. Grandmaster Lord John. Bloody hell, okay. Seriously, just call me Lee. That's all I need. God. Yeah. How has everybody been? How's your week been? What you up to? What do you want to talk about? All the usual stuffs. Monica, regarding your review of Feasting from the Black Cauldron, is this book more about practice or philosophy and theory? It's really both. It's actually written mostly as somebody wanting to join their particular coven. And so it's like an introduction to their own philosophies and their own practices. But obviously they're not going to get in deep into you know, the more oath-bound stuff. So it is really just the surface level stuff. But yeah, it is very, very specific to how they practice themselves. So it's going to differ from a lot of other people. There's a lot of things in there that I wouldn't agree with. But you know, that's just how they practice. Castle, what's Lee been up to, and what updates do you have for us? I have been up to not much this past week, actually. I've been kind of lazy. I think I needed a bit of a reset period. So I need to get back on the grind next week. But yeah, other than that, not much really. How you been? What you up to? Psycat, could be timing of manifestation of results, particularly goetic work. What was that in relation to? In relationship to? If I do, by the way, if you feel like I've missed anything you've said in the chat, just let me know, because sometimes YouTube just like completely disregards it and doesn't show it. Ori, enjoyed your video regarding offerings. Oh, that's good. That's the last living current one. You know, the next one's actually, I actually like the next one. It's about working with the land and the spirits and all of that stuff, and the flow of that particular energy that we have going. Right. I'm trying to think if I do have anything. I didn't do anything new this week. Let's just been setting up for next month. All the YouTube videos are scheduled for next month. And I actually need to market. I'm terrible at marketing and sales, I really am. And for myself anyway. But I just need to market I want to actually push the masterclass. That's really where my kind of focus lies in all things. Castle, I've been practicing my Negrong and Qigong, got even deeper into it. My Taoist magic is coming along, and learn to make talismans. Cool, good stuff. Ori, Lee, do you work with the Olympic spirits? No, I don't actually, but I am going to be working with them. Something I kind of touched on years ago and didn't really feel much of a connection at the time. But because I am writing a book, and which is then going to be another masterclass, which is about planetary magic, one of the focuses in there is going to be the Arbitel and the Olympic spirits. So I am going to be doing some practice there, because I don't believe in writing stuff if I haven't actually practiced it and worked it. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. As well as I'm probably going to actually touch on the Heptameron as well. I am personally going through the Enochian working fashion somehow. I'm not sure really how I'm setting that up yet, but I am working my way through that at the moment, which the aim was to really just get to the ethers, but I didn't want to get there without going through all of the John Dee stuff. So, but anyway, there is one of the books that form part of that, which is the Heptarchia. Oh, I've forgotten, Libris, I think the title is. Anyway, it's very much a heptarchic kind of planetary working by the looks of it. I haven't gotten really deep into that, but I might also focus on that at some point this year. But we'll see. I don't know. There's not enough time for everything I want to do. It's a pain in the backside. Bevi Mordka, I feel terrible. I have complete doubts about the practice. Recently I found a rock with a cave in the middle of the reserve where I spent some time and came out like this. In the evening I had a dream that I was eating in a cemetery, and the thought came to me that by eating here I was also eating death. To sum up, I don't see the point in practicing it when I doubt its effectiveness and feasibility, and I don't know how to regain the fuel to continue practicing craft. So what you might be experiencing is some form of dark night of the soul. If you feel like you're going through some kind of depression, which is not normal for you, the type of depression you're going through, but it's that doubting. You're doubting your practice, doubting that any of this is viable, just thinking that it's all a load of rubbish and bullshit, and just basically just deciding you want to throw it all away because you just lied to yourself all these years. That is very much a dark night of the soul kind of journey. So take a back seat, just slow down, examine everything, don't make any decisions, just work your way through it, and if you find you come out on the other side with a stronger devotion to everything, that's brilliant. If you come out on the other side and you probably will come out on the other side think that, wanting to get more into it, because once it's in your blood, it's in your blood. There's no way of actually getting away from it. You drive yourself mad if you try. So yeah, just go through it slowly and don't force anything. Don't try and do a practice and try and make it feasible. Just continue as you are, and if something doesn't feel like it's working, then don't do it, and maybe later you'll come back to it. That's fine. Don't push anything. Okay. Psycat said, I was asking, is there a tentative time frame when Goetic spirits start manifesting results if performed properly. Oh, it depends on what you're actually trying to manifest. Some things. This is where the tricky part comes in, and people say, how long is it going to take for this thing to work and everything else? You can't really say. I usually give it 4 weeks, but I've had things manifest or come to manifestation within like 6 months, because that thing needed that time to actually get going and work its way through into the physical realm. So it is very difficult to say. I've had things where I've done that, popped up the next day, so it really is. But I usually give them 4 weeks, and then if I don't see anything in 4 weeks, I'll do some divination to see if it's actually still going. Because sometimes I usually use geomancy, and if Via pops up, it's still flowing, it's still moving, it's just got a ways to go, or it keeps hitting a bump and it's not quite getting there. So do some divination, find out what's wrong, what's going on, and proceed from there, kind of thing. Power, hello Power. Good morning. How can I start practicing elemental witchcraft involving demons? What exactly do you mean by elemental witchcraft involving demons? There's a whole encyclopedia full of things we could talk about there. So yeah, can you narrow that down a bit? I'm going to go on to Ori. There are so many spirits and a source little time. Oh yes, absolutely. Definitely not enough time. And you also said Dark Knight is a cleansing, recalibration, breaking you apart process. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It is a breaking down. It's a shattering. It is just horrible to go through. But yeah, it's a necessary aspect. Bonewalker, maybe some fae lived in the cave and he bit me. Do some divination. I mean that's not beyond possibility. I've known at least one person whose soul got stolen by the fae. It happens. So, do some divination. Find out what this actually is. It sounds like Dark Night of the Soul, but do some divination. Or if you feel like you're not able to do that yourself because of how you're feeling at the moment, ask somebody else to do it for you, and find out what is actually going on. But I think you'll probably find that's pointing you towards Dark Night. Power said, invoking demons for specific purposes based on their element. Oh, okay. Where would you get started? I suppose the place to get started would be to identify which elements are associated with which spirits, and then you can use a classical ceremonial magic circle casting and place the gates of the elements, and then step through either step through or pull in the energy of the spirit you want to work with in that direction. That's probably somewhere I would start with that particular thing. Just trying to think of other ways you can do that. Because you see, the thing is, when I work with the demons, I work with them because of the qualities they possess. When I work with the elements, I work with the elements themselves and the qualities they possess. I don't generally put them together, but I do understand what you mean. But it would be a combination. So yeah. You can work in a circle casting in the particular direction of the element itself, and therefore assume that the spirit is in that direction. You can invoke from that direction, but you can also do things. If you're doing an invocation, you can do things like immerse yourself in the energy and the power of the element itself, and then work on invoking the demon. So you pull in the energy of the element and you surround yourself in it. Your entire room is the element, and then call the spirit, and then the spirit comes in and it might feel more comfortable, and you might feel a slight shift in energy because you have a combination of energies then. But yeah, kind of, I suppose I would go in that direction. And Bavy Mordecus said, I will now, and we will see. We will see. Let us know. Just put my phone on silent. There we go. Right then. You said while in the cave, did I interact with its spiritual inhabitant? 3 cups, hermit, 5 pentacles. Don't throw those things at me. This is your divination, not mine. I don't know. You're gonna have to work that out for yourself. I'm not a diviner. I can put a geomantic chart together and read that, but not tarot. Cass saw some good music playing. It is, yeah. I decided to do the Led Zeppelin radio today. Thought it'd be a bit more upbeat. For the past couple of weeks, it's just been like, you know, every time whatever I put on, it goes into this like really slow music. So yeah. Anyway, the Dark Knight was a bit rough for me, but I was lucky enough to experience it a bit earlier. I thought I wanted to give up my practice, but it made me want to do it. Yeah, more. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. I went through it for like several years. I'd completely and utterly, absolutely rejected magic and the occult. I just decided it was a load of bullshit, and I was lying to myself. But yeah, you can't get away from it. Psycat, also, what is your view on working with planetary spirits and Olympic spirits? Some say working with Olympic spirits are responsive and easy to work with. I am aware you are yet to work with Olympics. Yeah, I have heard a lot of people say that the Olympic spirits are easy to work with. As I said, I touched on it years ago. When I work with planetary spirits, I actually generally tend to work with the Navagrahas, which are the Hindu gods which are associated with the planets. I kind of find I get nice results with that. The other aspects I often work with are the Orphic hymns. You know, just reciting the hymns and setting up some kind of altar or shrine or something to that particular planetary force. What I might also do is work with the intelligences and spirits from Agrippa. Or was it Levi? Levi? I think it was Levi, not Agrippa. Yeah, I always get those two mixed up. But those are also very, very good to work with, because you kind of like, then that aspect you get the intelligence and you get the spirit, and the intelligence is almost like the big force, and then the spirit kind of refines that slightly and targets it, puts it into construction, right, rather than you know, the kind of the idea of the whole thing. So I do like working with them as well. But what I'll do most often is I will open up the Sephira to the Tree of Life that's associated with that particular planet, and you do that by vibrating the god name for that Sephira. I find that very useful as well. So there's a lot of different ways to work with the planetary forces, not just you know, this and that and whatnot. But yeah. Castle said sounded like Stevie Ray Vaughan. Who was that before? I think I can check what was playing before. Recently played. Oh no, that was the Doors last. Before that was Pink Floyd, and then before that was Led Zeppelin. Oh, we're only 4 songs in, so it was easy enough to find out. Yeah, it was the Doors then, I think. You're probably listening to that one. Where am I? Auriat Castle. I personally don't trust anyone who hasn't been through it. It's testing the soul for fitness. Mine completely changed my belief system, entire life change. Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily a case of not trusting anyone who hasn't been through it, because not everybody goes through that kind of experience. I think a lot of serious people who are doing the work and putting the work in do go through it, but it doesn't mean that the person's not trustworthy. I think it depends on the person, really. But yeah, no, it's disabling. It's I don't know. There's a lot of words we can use for the dark night of the soul that don't make it very pretty. Castle, that's fair, but not everyone goes through it because they're not on our path. Yeah, but like kind of what I said, but yeah. Bavin Walker, changing the subject. I started reading Covenstead by Robin Artiston, and I'm a bit disappointed. It seems like the author gives optical illusions the status of living beings, just like the dreams we are supposed to dream as part of our practice. Why do you say that? I'm really not sure where you're finding that. I mean, the spirits, the gods that Robin works with are very real. And Castle said, sorry, that's what rubbed my eye. As of late, I've had a lot of normal people come to me for help with different spirits and cleansing things. Yeah, I get that a lot. Also, I mean, coming back to the dark night of the soul and changing a belief system, I think our belief system changes constantly. Yeah, I mean, that is a big life change because it totally strips you of everything you thought was real. It puts you on a completely different path. But I think our belief system, our worldview, let's put it that way, our worldview keeps changing and altering and shifting. And we have to keep testing things and make sure, you know, we're not kind of believing a load of rubbish, because there's so much rubbish out there we keep getting our hands on. Psych out. Thank you. Do you find intelligence I'm still here. Start that again. Do you find intelligence in the spirits of planets more understanding or pliant than the archangels? Planetary archangels seem to be very rigid and cold sometimes. Yes, I do. The intelligences themselves are very big, very similar to the archangels. But the spirits themselves are more. I don't know if I can call them terrestrial because they're planetary, but it's very similar to a terrestrial spirit, which is why a lot of people work with the spirits of the planets within modern demonology, because they have that chthonic kind of feel to them. It's more refined, it's more directed. But the intelligences are very, very big, very broad, the power, the force of the planet itself, kind of thing. Whereas the archangels are the same thing at the end of the day, similar at least. And yeah, I would say yes. Davy Mordker said that they can too at Castle. I lost that conversation. Oh well. Let's switch back to that. Crap bite. Hello, hello. It is Sunday again. Yes, I know it creeps up on you, doesn't it? Thanks for joining. Bevy Mordka, Psycat reminded me of something the four kings summoned when we placed the compass. The four largest stars as guardians of the four directions. Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can phrase that. The watchtowers, the guardians, the gatekeepers, the paths, the archangels, the elemental kings, etc., etc., etc. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of different sets of them. Let's put it that way. Because you've got the archangels, you've got the Paracelsian elemental kings, you've got the modern demonology group, you've got the various ones from the different grimoires, which seem to change and alter here and there. I think the most common ones there are, well, my brain fails me. Was it a Maimon, Paimon, Egin? I've forgotten the fourth one now. But, you know those four, and then they kind of change, depending on the grimoire. But, yeah, there's a lot of these, the four directions, the four gates, the four elementals, all of that stuff. James, hello. Just popping in to say hello, as I have a busy day today. Okay, alright then. Hope you have a fantastic day though. Crap Bite. I love that name. I named a character in my MMO, Paimon, and it is funny how often random. I don't do short things. I can't figure them out sometimes. Random people write me to ask stuff. Yeah, they would. I mean, you go and do some research on A Spirit from the Gratia or any other grimoire, and you usually get presented with gaming stuff. Some of it's right, some of it's wrong. But you know, if somebody who's researching just gets presented with all of this gaming stuff, so they're going to think that all the information within the gaming is correct. So I hope your stuff's correct, and based on the actual Paimon of the Goetia. Psycats, are the intelligences also rigid or cold like the archangels? I don't necessarily find them rigid or cold. I don't actually find the archangels rigid or cold. I find them to be... I can understand why you say rigid and cold. My word or terminology would be standoffish. They're not really interested in humans. And, you know, they're archangels or intelligences. They are these huge, big, powerful forces that control the cosmos and different aspects of the cosmos. You know, they're not interested in an individual's life. Yeah, so the intelligences are very similar, but you know, rigid and cold, yeah, I get that. I do get that. But it's only because they're too big. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to get. They're just too big to bother about an individual human being. They've got much bigger things to worry about. Which is why I like working with the intelligence and the spirit. You invoke the power and the force, you open that floodgate, and then you get the spirit to kind of fine-tune it into the thing you want it to do. So that's just my approach. So, well, not just my approach, other people's, but that's what I take. Wang, hello. I heard that invoking demons depends more on a person's inherent traits and vibrational frequency rather than any technical aspect. Is that why some people succeed in just one day while others can't do it even if it takes a lifetime? No, I wouldn't say so. I don't think the alignment has got to do with the person's inherent traits and vibrational frequency. I think what you find is some people have a natural tendency. They are probably more open, more sensitive, more psychic than others. Me, for instance, I'm not. I battle. I have to really work at this stuff to actually get a result. So it can take me months and years just to get a result from something. On the other side of that, I was going to say, now I've forgotten. Bloody hell. Hold on. Oh, sometimes it's just beginner's luck. It's the first time they're doing something. There's a little bit of excitement and there's a little bit of fear, sometimes a lot, and that energy that's flowing from the fear and excitement is potent and it's powerful. You're also breaking taboos usually, and that adds a load of a huge, powerful push of energy into the whole thing, and that is what actually usually brings the result. And then the next time you do it, nothing happens because you're expecting the same thing to happen, and you cannot expect the same thing to happen. So yeah, that's often what happens. It often is beginner's luck, because of the immense power that is being pushed into that particular working. You get the result. But yeah, I mean, generally, I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a long time to actually get these things to work, because the amount of study and understanding you gain in the process, as opposed to the person who just does it and it clicks and they can just do it straight away, they're probably not going to bother even going to find out why they did it or why it worked, because it worked. So why bother finding out? Why bother continuing a study of it? So I think if it's a battle for you to actually get there, I think it's just a very important journey and path that you take. So take it. Track by. I mean, they ask me stuff about the game. I don't know. Paymon seems to be a reliable name. Oh, okay, alright. I think a lot of people know Paymon. They also know what it's called. It's pronounced Paimon in Pokemon. So yeah, Paymon's quite a popular thing even outside the occult circles. So yeah, probably why. Right, Bavi Mordka. Let's see. You know what's funny about my practice? I'm generally in a state of doubt, but every time I start reading some books, I don't even have to do rituals. I just read the other residents talk about ghosts they've passed by in the house. Recently, my mum saw my doppelganger running out of the house and up the stairs after the cat. Don't know what's going on. I'm looking for contact and I'm not experiencing anything, while the rest of the household doesn't know what's going on and is worried about their mental health. I'm thinking about an offering in the cave. I have a tincture of wormwood with anise and camphor, but I'm not sure it's a good gift for the spirits of the wild nature. Have you ever considered that you're trying too hard? Have you ever considered that maybe spirit work isn't for you? It's not for everybody. Not everybody does spirit work. Some witches don't even worship gods. They don't even work with gods and goddesses and any kind of spirit in their practice. They might work with the elements and the natural forces around them, but they don't work with spirits. It's not a necessity. I know it has some like an excitement value to it, but you know, it's not necessary. So I would ask myself, why do I want to work with spirits? Is it a necessity for me? And then, am I trying too hard? Maybe just ease back a bit and put the brakes on. Just pick a spirit and what you feel most connected to, you feel, most aligned with, and just work with that one spirit and disregard all others. And just do daily offerings. Just sit and say hello, good morning, how you doing? And then in the evening you can sit, had a shitty day or had a good day or whatever it is, and just, light a candle, light some incense, give some water, and just do that on a repetitive basis. And you'll probably find that repetition holds some ground, and it might actually help. So, sometimes it's the approach. Second, thank you, Lee. Okay, next query. Loading in some time. Okay, right. I'll get the little circle going. 95% alcohol. What's that got to do with? Wait, hang on. No. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, the tincture of wormwood and with anise and camphor was in 95% alcohol. Okay, just don't drink that. If it, a tincture should just be like 5 drops or something. Definitely don't drink it if you are going to drink it yourself. But yeah, that would be a good offering, I think. You could have just mixed it with some vodka. Let's go. Yeah. By the way, if you are ever considering making that particular drink with vodka, don't. Well, I was going to say don't taste it, but you actually have to taste it because it's so vile. You have to just experience it at least once in your life. And it lingers and it stays there for hours. You can't get rid of it. Just no matter how much water or milk or anything you drink, it's gross, disgusting. Yeah. And camphor's probably not a good one to add to that. I would just do wormwood and anise if you're going to do that, and some mint maybe. Yeah. All right. Anyway, yes, do not consume. Let's just put that little label on there. Track bites. Maybe you notice signs like reappearing numbers, and then look up and what it is related to. Have I lost the plot again? Do you know what that was relating to now? I'm losing the conversations today. You'll have to forgive me. Alright, Agatha said, happy blue moon, full moon, everyone, and to you. And Craig Bright said, is it again? Yes, apparently. Agatha, masterclass for mastering what? The masterclass I've got that I've put up recently, this month, that's going to be an 8-month course, masterclass, that is focused on, foundational work really. It'll take you through all of the energy centers. There's also a focus on various different magical workings, like we look at candle magic, we look at puppet magic, mirror box magic, and sigils. Those are the 4 focuses, because they all kind of have a slight different variation, and at the end you can put them all together and make a really nice little spell working. You also go through meeting your fetch beast and awakening it. Towards the end, you also meet your dragon. There's a practice called riding the dragon, which you don't want to do too early, because you can actually end up in spiritual psychosis if you get it wrong. You have to ride the dragon, not the dragon ride you. It's quite a process. And then there's also exploration of how to form a compass, which kind of relates to your own personal worldview. You meet the elemental kings. There's journeys that take you on. There's a whole lot of stuff in this masterclass that I think is quite important to anybody who, firstly, wants a good foundation, wants to build a strong foundation. But also somebody who, I mean, I know a lot of people who've kind of like been practicing for 5 to 10 years, and I did it myself. You know, you kind of like teaching yourself here and there, and bits and pieces are falling together, but it's not a complete kind of jigsaw puzzle. It's just there's lots of pieces missing, and you can't really get your footing properly. Also good for people like that, and anybody who wants to kind of go back to the basics and, you know, start again, bring all that knowledge you have gained, and you know, see how you can add that into the basics and start over. So yeah, good for a lot of people. But yeah, I'm writing a book about planetary magic at the moment, which I'm also going to turn into a masterclass, but that's much later. It's going to be in a year from now, at least. Alright, crack bites. I meant for those who try too hard or don't know with which spirit to work with. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can look for numbers. I'm not a numerology. There you go. Don't really follow a lot of people do the angel numbers. Doesn't work for me. Luke's, hello. One of my favourite persons. Oh, thank you. You have a question. Is it possible to connect and possibly work, for example, with beings from anime, game, etc.? I'm curious about your thoughts. Oh yes, absolutely. You find this a lot in chaos magic, especially if you start venturing into Discordianism and things like that. But this whole... I mean, all you have to do is look for the Hello Kitty cult. There's an entire cult that's formed around Hello Kitty. But a lot of chaos magicians will take some things like Star Trek or Star Wars or things like that, and actually what they do is you take the characters and their personalities, and you kind of consider them to be an archetype for a particular thing, and you place them in various areas within your worldview, and they then become the archetype for that thing. So, you know, Obi-Wan Kenobi would be mentor and teacher, and things like that. So, you know, you can definitely work with anime and gaming characters and everything else. Yeah. But what you'll find is, and what I'm trying to say is, they will represent archetypes for you, and then you can work through them. Santa Claus. I work with Santa Claus. Santa Claus for me is Zeus. You know, Santa Claus is Jove, the jovial spirit of, or force of Jupiter. Because Santa Claus brings wealth and health and good fortune and happiness and joy and everything like that. So I work with Santa Claus. I've got Santa Claus on my shelf out there, and I say a prayer to Jove every morning. Yeah, why not? If it works, it works. Furthermore, the last time I lit a candle and asked if anyone could hear me, the candle shot up into the ceiling. The spark was huge. Another time while walking. Well, then I think you got the answer of yes. Somebody is listening. I asked the same question and asked to meet a snake. A moment later, a green snake jumped out onto my path. Something between a grass snake and a viper. I haven't found one. Okay, so hang on. Maybe I'm confusing or misunderstanding what you were saying then, because it sounded like you were having difficulty connecting with spirits. From what you're saying there, you're having no difficulty at all. You're getting more than most people get. So you're going to have to let me know what's going on there. Agatha, who's to say one man's optical illusion isn't seeing an actual being? Yeah. I mean, you have to remember that how we experience our reality is really the illusion. You know, the skin on our skeleton and all that stuff. It's the shell. It's the illusion itself. So when you start working with spirits, you're working in a completely different realm. And many things can be true, and many things can be true at the same time, which is the wonderful paradox of witchcraft. But, yeah. Psycat, next query loaded. Good stuff. For a beginner who had experience in foundational practices and grip on those practices like meditation, etc., which books would you recommend for goetic evocation and work? I wouldn't. I would say do it. Stop reading and put it into practice. If you've done the foundational stuff, you've read the books. If you do want to, I don't think you can get any more information. I mean, really what people are doing is just rehashing what's been said over and over and over again. You might get a different take on it, you know, like a modern demonology, it's a bit more respectful than what Stephen Skinner would talk about. So, I wouldn't recommend books, I would say do it. Stop messing around now. Get your hands dirty. Right, Babin Walker, like I say, in the context of Austin's book, it's about working with a mirror and creating an optical illusion. Oh, the mirror, the death face. Oh, okay. I actually put my students through this in second degree. An optical illusion that is nothing supernatural when you stare. Oh no, you've completely misunderstood that, and you are not getting the experience you're supposed to be getting if you've done it. So with the death face, what happens is you gaze, you request an ally in the fairy world, okay, and that ally is what will help you communicate with the fae and the otherworldly spirits and everything else. So with the death mirror exercise or the death face exercise, you gaze at yourself in the mirror, and at some point what happens is I found that my eyes went blank and my head also shifted while my reflection was still in the same position. So I kind of like, yes, it was like an optical illusion. But what you're talking about, I think, is that the face goes blank. Everything in the mirror goes blank, and that is part of what happens with the eyes. It is an optical illusion, and then everything comes back again. Just because it's a scientific thing that happens, or a biological thing that happens with the eyes and the optics themselves, doesn't mean it's not supernatural. Or, I hate the word supernatural, doesn't mean it's not otherworldly. So don't separate the two. Do the work, get the results. If you get the results, then you've done the work. If you want to explain it as you know, the mirror went black and therefore it's just because my optics did this and that and everything else, it's scientifically proven. Okay, cool. But did it work? But anyway, yeah. So the death face mirror exercise is where you actually connect with an otherworldly being, which acts as your ally in the other world. It kind of, I was going to say it kind of is you in that world, but at the same time it's not. It's a whole mishmash of stuff. But yeah, no, don't think science and witchcraft is that separate. Most definitely. Okay. Alright. Psycat maybe in a temple by Penzak. It's very Wicca, it's Penzak though. I'm not sure why in a temple would be related to that. Anyway. Llewellyn, that's definitely Llewellyn. Bowman Santa Claus, is it Velas? Can't remember who Velas is. Not one I work with myself, worship. Let's see. Veles. If Veles is related to Zeus and Jove and etc., then yeah. No. No, not in my interpretation, let's put it that way. I'm not talking about what are the mythological basis and foundations to the character of Santa Claus. I'm talking about a representation of a particular thing, which is joy, happiness, wealth, health, etc., which Santa Claus embodies. And that is the same embodiment as King Jove or Jupiter or Zeus. If you read the Orphic hymn for Jupiter, it just sounds like Santa Claus. So when I was doing that, I thought, this is Santa Claus, I'm going to get a little Santa Claus figurine and call it Jove. So really what it was. Agatha, question. Speaking of the full moon today, have you ever used moon water? I don't use moon water, and I'm also a bit of a grumpy old fart when it comes to things like this, because a lot of what people are calling moon water isn't moon water. I mean, I know from a friend that, you know, the way witches would collect moon water would be to go out on the full moon into the forest and find a pool of water and collect it from there. But there's a whole lot of other stuff that goes with the ritual and how to actually collect it and all that stuff. But you know, nowadays it seems to be fill a bottle with water, stick it on outside, and then overnight, and then bring it back in before the sun comes up. It doesn't even matter if the moon sees the water. A lot of people just, you know, it can be cloudy there, you know, it doesn't matter. And it does, especially when it comes to the moon. Light is a very important aspect when it comes to the moon. So if that water doesn't reflect the moon, it's not going to charge. There's nothing going to happen. And this is why a lot, you know, when people talk about doing eclipse moon water, it doesn't make any sense because there's no light. So there's nothing going into the water. But yeah, as I said, I'm a bit of a old foggy fart about these things. But I don't use it myself. Luke, so see, that's what I was thinking, since it's associated with reality shifting and stuff. Thanks so much. It's a pleasure. I feel like I've got a lot of conversations going on today, and I'm losing my mind. Okay, no, all right. Followed that one. There we go. Got that one. Bavimorka. Oops, shit. Hang on. I'll catch up here. Saint Nicholas replaced the Coca-Cola in Europe. Yeah, as I said, this isn't the origins of Santa. I mean, the origin of Santa Claus is Coca-Cola. Let's be serious. That's where it came from. It's just a commercialization of that Coca-Cola just made up. Yeah, no, it's more to do with the archetype itself, actually, of that joy and happiness and wealth and all that stuff. Ori, I wanted to know your view of the Black Pullet magic. One of those grimoires I have not touched in many years. I can't even remember what's in that one. Sorry. There's a lot of grimoires, various grimoires. That some of them I probably would have started reading and realized this is like Christian magic. The Book of Oberon, for example, it was just too Christianized for me. I just couldn't actually get through it. But Black Pullet, I can't remember. I'll just do a quick search. Maybe I can refresh my memory quickly. I read a ton of grimoires like when I was like 20 years back. I was like really into it then, and I thought, you know, this is where the key to everything is. And didn't turn out quite that way. Oh, this is one of those very much. This is really a spell working book, wasn't it? Otherwise known as the hen that lays golden eggs. I remember that. Yeah, not much information here, but an old Turkish man appears suddenly from the pyramids and takes the French officer into a secret apartment within one of the pyramids. Oh yes, I remember that. Yeah, that was actually a pretty exciting book, but I didn't do much work from it because it's like the PGM. I do enjoy the PGM. I take some stuff out of that, but you know, sometimes you've got to try and. There's so many blinds in these grimoires as well. You've got to try and find out where they are, and then you got to try and kind of figure out the ingredients that they used back then that you can't use now, and you have to try and associate and try and do that with every single book, and also enough time in the day or a lifetime. Agatha, your experiences are amazing. I don't get as many, but sometimes I do. I agree with you. Yes, Babi Mordka's experiences are amazing, and gets lots and lots of them, and we don't get any of them. And then they end up complaining. Stop complaining. I'm gonna smack Babi Mordka over the head from now on. All right. That was a bit rude. Sorry. Okay. Canal. Hello, Canal. Live show. Oh yeah. I play music in the back. Still, widget thing that I've been able to add so it shows music. Also, I keep getting a copyright bloody notice every single time I do these lives, and I don't even monetize these shows. They keep reminding me. I'm like, well, I didn't monetize it in the first place. Stop reminding me. But apparently all these go to the artists themselves. So I'm happy with that, if that's what happens. Fallen Angel. Hello. Oh yes, you haven't been here yet. All right. Hello. How you doing? Glad you could join again. Psycat, I was looking for the basic structure since I am beginner. Goetic, evocation, context, many books, hence looking for guidance. So, if you're looking at this from a modern demonology perspective, then I would actually suggest grabbing Stephanie Connolly's book, which is just called. Hang on. Yeah, books names. Connolly books. No, I was going to give me somebody else. Yes, Connolly books. Yeah, it's just called Demonology Goetia, or Goetia. And that has a slightly different approach to what the ceremonial magicians are doing. If you want some good ceremonial basis, then Stephen Skinner. Joseph Peterson. Have a look through some of his works. Yeah, Skinner's very much a strict ceremonial magician. Definitely believes in the geometry of things. You know, it's got nothing to do with imagination or visualization. It is this line goes here, this line goes here, this one has to converge at a particular angle, sacred geometry kind of stuff, and therefore then you get the results. And he gets the results. But it is very much the ceremonial approach of trapping and binding and threatening and everything else, which I don't like myself. But, you know, it depends what you want to go for. So I would start there. You're going to get two different approaches from those. Connolly is the modern demonology. Skinner is the ceremonial magician. Buy the book. Alright. Fallen Angel outside cat. Do invocation first. Evocation is advanced, I guess. It depends how you're actually interpreting those terms. In fact, the other way round, if you're interpreting it in the most common sense, evocation would be where you pull the energy into your space or into an object. Invocation is when you then bring that energy into your body, right? But in modern demonology, that gets changed. Modern demonologists don't like to use the word evocation. They prefer to use the word invocation, and it covers all the bases. It's moving it into your body, around your space, into other objects. Doesn't matter. It's just invoking. So it has different takes on those words, but if let's rather say evoke energy and versus possession. Okay, that's probably going to be the easiest to define between the two. Cannell likes the music, good stuff. I like the music too. Bevan Walker, Agatha, my experiences are limited to what I've described, nothing more. Another experience is doubt after spending some time in the underworld cave on the top of the mountain in the center of the reserve. It was a bit illegal because the reserve is closed, but I need such places without people. So besides, witchcraft is a rebellion, right? Yes, absolutely. Just don't get arrested. But you're having the experiences, Bowen Walker. You just got to carry on doing it. You're not going to have those experiences every single day, and you might get them once or twice a year. It's not that I think you thinking the frequency is not correct. You're having the experiences and you're doing the work. Just carry on doing it. That's really what it is about. Crack bites. In the forest nearby is a waterfall called the Devil's Fall. So taking moon water from there would be perfect then. I would actually not even call that moon water. I would use the water as a connection to the spirits of that water. This is the other thing. I mean, we can collect a lot of different waters, and they don't have to all be moon water. We can collect storm water. We can collect eclipse water, but this is not putting a bottle of water outside and then taking it in the morning. This is going out and collecting water from the ground during that time. So if you have a storm, gather some storm water, or you can go and gather some river water or pond water or lake water, sea water, all of this stuff. So if you're gathering from a particular waterfall, I would actually be very careful, first of all, because water spirits can be very seductive and very dangerous. But if you're going to collect from waterfalls, rivers, things like that, just give proper offerings as well, because you could find yourself in a little bit of trouble. But you would actually be working specifically with the spirits in that area and in the water itself. Bavin Walker said, Coca-Cola, it's black. It's red and white. What are you talking about? The logo's red and white. Like Velas, Chthonic, God of Magic and Death and Prosperity and Wealth. There you go, okay. Fallen Angel. Mr. Lee, can we work with Duke Boone for necromancy, considering he is a necromancer demon? Yes, absolutely. What I find Boone useful for in that regard is just keeping an eye on the gate. If you do open a gate to work with the dead, then he kind of stops the riffraff from coming through, the parasites and all of that. Kind of keeps a good order going, all of that stuff. But yeah, she's great for that. That's in a necromantic sense. That's how I would work with Boone. But you can work a bit broader. I mean, she is connected with the dead. with the crossroads, all of those things. More, by the way, Lee, do you remember under which video I pasted a list of interesting books to review for you? No, I don't remember which one it was. And there was like 2 or 3, I think. But I do have a list. Do you want me to read? Do you want me to read the list to you? Because there was backwards witchcraft. There was 6 ways, path of paganism, death's head, of blood and bones, living spirits, alive with spirits, cunning craft. There was the Devon Hunters books, which book of spirits, power, and mysteries. I'm not sure if you added this one, Anatomy of a Witch by Laura Tempest Zakharov. I think you did. Yeah, that's what was on your list anyway. Or the ones I could actually, not all of them, sorry, the ones I can actually get hold of. You did, on the last one you did, all 3 of them I couldn't get the books at all in any format. So I didn't bother putting them on the list. Maybe I'll regain my magical enthusiasm when I receive my parcel from Troy Books on Wednesday. I ordered 4 devilish things. Horns of the Moon, techniques in traditional magical arts, the art and grimoire of traditional witchcraft. Ooh, Kerry Weisner. And Gemma Gary. Nice. And the art of conjuration, creation, manifestation of intent. Oscar Tutt. Who's Horns of the Moon? Who did that one? Oops. Horns of the Moon. Let's roll the hearts. Oh, cool. What did you say here? The letter is the most controversial. Who knows the author? Yeah. Oh, Kerry Weisner as well. Okay. Yeah. I know she's labelled as being very, very good in the traditional witchcraft communities. So you can't go wrong with that. Psycho. What about the middle path between the two? A recommendation. Well, the middle path is really what I call the crooked path. Just make sure we're all still here and working. I think so. Alright. So when you talk about the middle path, it's a combination of the 2 paths. I talk about the crooked path, which is part of traditional witchcraft. And with the crooked path, you don't just walk through the middle. It's not a straight line. You go. It's a crooked path. It's a serpentine path. It goes left and right and up and down and inside and out, and sometimes it comes all the way back because you've got to repeat something, and it's crooked. It's serpentine. There's no straight lines in witchcraft. But yeah, that's my path. Whoever is in favour of Lee inviting Kerry Weisner for an interview. I don't like doing interviews, stop it. I will do one every now and again, because somebody reached out, but yeah, I've got to be honest with you, I've had certain people reach out to do interviews and I don't want to talk to them, and then I feel really bad for saying no. So if I want to talk to somebody, really want to talk to somebody, I'll reach out to them, because I can't. I'm a very shy person. I know you probably don't think so, but I am. I remember the first interview I did was with Jasmine Ambrosia. I was shitting myself all through. I was so nervous. Plus she's absolutely gorgeous. So. Anyway. I've lost my place, hold on. Fallen Angel, I'll let Mr. Lee to answer you because he has vast experience. You can answer as well, nothing wrong with you answering. That's what we're all here for, as a gathering, a collection of witches. Crackbite, you know you can spam those hearts all by yourself and nobody'd know. Oh, can I? Hang on, I'm gonna do this now. Oh wait, that was 100. Oh, look, there we go. Oh, yeah. Agatha, Crackbite, taking water from that place would be cool. Never heard of using water straight from a natural source during the full moon. I would take a jar of water home and leave it overnight under the moon. You could do that, but as I said, I mean, the water, I would just leave the water as it is. It's powerful already, and it could be used for a specific thing as well. I'm here still. Okay, alright, as long as I'm still here. Crackbite, I don't even know for what this water is supposed to be used. It depends on what you're doing, what it is. A lot of people use moon water for scrying. A lot of water that I would use for scrying in a bowl of water. Because different waters kind of get different effects, and especially if you're using something like from a waterfall, and you give offerings to the spirits, then when you're doing the scrying, you're probably going to be connecting with the spirits themselves, and that part of that's going to come through. You can actually ask them for aid, guidance, all of that stuff. Moon water is usually used for cleansing, empowering, all of those kind of things. You would add it into your spell workings. A lot of people drink it, to take in the power of the full moon, all that stuff. So it depends what it is. Okay, hold on. Fallen Angel, excuse me, Mr. Lee, can you spell the demon name you mentioned for necromancy? We were talking about Boone earlier, which is B-U-N-E. Didn't you bring that one up? Was that the one we're talking about? One I was talking about earlier? I'll put it in the chat just in case. Boone. Psycat, thank you for an angel. As I suffer from aphantasia, it's just difficult to visualize. Also, I want to be respectful to the spirits. Yeah. If you do have aphantasia, then see, this is what we keep saying all the time. We use words to describe particular things in magic that they're not actually very good terms to use, like visualization. When we say visualize something, we're usually talking about, yes, see it in your mind's eye, and that's where aphantasia has a bit of a problem. But when we talk about the psychic senses and the sight and seeing, we use these terms sight and seeing, and we immediately think we have to see it with not with our physical eyes, but with our psychic eyes. But the difficulty here is all of the senses come into play. So, you can have a feeling about something, that's visualizing. You can smell something, that's visualizing. So, the way I like to kind of try and help people at aphantasia is by kind of asking them to describe how they experience a character while they're reading a book. Because if I'm reading a book, I'm visualizing, I'm seeing it in my mind's eye, the scene unfolding and what the character's doing and everything else. But somebody with aphantasia probably can't do that. So how do you experience it? Is it through thought? Is it through other senses? You know, what is it? That's your visualization. So kind of try to figure that out and then use that in your visualization techniques. But it doesn't have to be, you know, just kind of visual. It's just these words we use to describe these things, and it's a bit of a difficulty, really. Crack bite. Mainly I use water for washing, and I don't even like getting all wet. Yeah, well, you've got that as well. You can use water, cleansed water or charged water for cleansing. You can fill your sink or your basin with water and charge it, infuse it, charm it, and then wash yourself with it. And it's not just normal water now, it's something different. So, you know, you would use moon water in a similar way. You can wash yourself with it, which has a cleansing and empowering aspect to it. So, it's magic. Why did my comment change to good? What the hell is that? Is YouTube doing a translation thing? Never seen that before. I did see some of Bavy Mordka's comments earlier. Had that little character on it. Hold on. Now I'm very curious. It's the same thing. That's weird. Okay. Alright, Fallen Angel, I don't know if you can see the name or not. Just, I don't know how it will work on mobile. On my PC, you just hover over it and it changes to the name. What the hell is going on with that? Alright, so you said other name. Maybe I misunderstood it, my mistake. Arachiel? What did it say? Regarding necromancy. Was it this chat or was it somewhere else that I said it? There's a lot of different necromantic spirits. I might have said it somewhere else. Yeah, can't think. If it was this chat, I was only talking about Boone. Alright. Oh, Crackbite said Arachiel. No, don't listen to me. I'll probably say dangerous stuff. YouTube loves doing stuff that's never asked. Yeah, like auto translation. Exactly. I installed an add-on for not doing that. I've never even seen that before. Weird. Psycho, experience books through the medium of thought. Can't visualize through the mind's eye at all. Then if you can do, if that's how you, that is your visualization. All right, so try and apply that to magic in the same fashion and see what happens. Get the results. And this is why there's so many different ways of doing magic, spell work and all that stuff. You know, there is your visualization, but there's also vibration. There's names of power that you can actually speak. There's putting particular symbols together, sacred geometry, all of this stuff. You don't even need visualization. Not I'm saying don't practice visualization if you don't have aphantasia. I'm just saying, you know, it's not an absolute necessity. So you can be a magician and have aphantasia. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Fallen Angel, Crackbite, thanks, and also from Mr. Yeah, I didn't say Arachiel. I don't know where that name came. That was Crackbite. If you're native English, then you won't see that annoying auto translation, I suppose. But I am. It's weird. German YouTube is translating everything. Oh, okay, and it's not even well done. I have seen that. I actually switched that off on mine, I believe, because soon after they put it on, I just saw all this stuff popping up on YouTube saying switch the damn thing off because it's so bad. It's driving your the algorithm down. So yeah, as far as I know, I switched it off anyway. I love necromancy so much I can say. Say it. There you go. Which is where you can say it. Do you like my goat, by the way? I like my goat. Right, where are we now? June. Bloody hell. Just the winter-summer solstice coming up. Let's see what I'm doing on everything. Alright, so Patreon, still doing the 44 Solomonic Pentacles, one a week. I'm still doing the book club. The book club this month is Backwards Witchcraft by Jake Richards. I'm really enjoying that book. It's got tons and tons of stuff you can do. Folklore. Let's see. If anybody wants to do the Introduction to Planetary Magic workshop, that's coming up in June. Just find the date. The special should still be on for another week, I think. That's on the 14th of June. Yeah, I think the special's on still for another week, so grab that if you want to get into that workshop. And then the masterclass is starting in September. I just want to give enough people to actually, it's not like it is an 8-month thing, so it's $480, or you can pay monthly over the 8 months. But yeah, so it's quite a hefty amount. I wanted to give enough people enough time to actually sort that out. But that's starting in September. I'm actually going to keep that going constantly, I think, and I'll do other workshops and masterclasses in between during the month. For YouTube, the same. Gently they stir. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. Crackbite necromance is the only romance I like. Who called these dead to dance? Very poetic. Was it the young woman learning to play the ghost song in her baby grand? Was it the wilderness children? Was it the ghost god himself, stuttering, cheering, chatting blindly? I called you up to anoint the earth. I called you to announce sadness falling like burned skin. I called you to wish you well, to glory in self like a new monster, and now I call on you to pray. Playlist. Can't even find out where we are. Oh, there we are. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, goodness me. Almost cut my hair. It's gone quiet now. So the other day, it's getting kind of long. I could have said no, I'm still here. But I didn't, and I wonder why. I feel like letting my freak fly. Right, yeah, that's all that's going on with me. Right, oh, they all Google. Oh, Arakiel, yes. I think that's okay. Let's Google Arakiel, shall we? Arakiel. There we go. Oh, from the Book of Enoch. Okay. The holy angel that leads souls to judgment, along with Ramiel. Oh.
Must be because I had the flu for Christmas.
That wasn't just all the only thing that Arakiel did, though. He was a watcher. Earth of God.
Like looking at my mirror and seeing a police car. But I'm not giving in an inch.
Oh, right. I think some people suggest that he taught geomancy. That's probably why I know the name. Fallen Angel, crack bite. Yes, I have googled it, and Mr. Lee said before a name called Rhoda. No, I think maybe I've said something that sounded like a name. Because all I was this particular chat when we were talking about necromancy earlier was about Boone. I've never heard of Broder myself either, so that's I think I would have said that. But yeah, it was about Boone. I think it's just miss. Don't know, whatever that is. Oh, sorry, Trapbite said Google doesn't tell you much about them. Yeah, they don't say much about most of the watchers. Kind of like have the first 5 or so, like Azazel taught smithing and cosmetics, beautification, all that stuff. But you know, this one taught whatever, this one taught that, but then it starts getting into the others, like they kind of lost the plot eventually. They got a bit bored. Yeah. Fallen Angel, okay, sorry for disturbing you. You're not disturbing anybody. Don't worry about that. Crackbite, can you can later repeat this video and check what you said. Oh yeah, that's also an option. There you go. It'll probably give you closed captions as well, which are probably wrong, because a lot of the stuff I said, like names of spirits and stuff, and then it adds the closed captions. It's like, okay, that's kind of weird. Yeah, it gets a bit funny. I have in it sound like Broder. It's my mistake. He was speaking about Boone, and that's it. Okay. Hell, you know, mistakes happen for reasons sometimes. Alexis, hello. Can a demon help a magician find a hidden treasure? If it is guarded by spirits, can the demon help him overcome the situation? Right, so I'm going to say in the classical sense of this understanding, no. That usually it refers to buried treasure, all of that stuff. And I've tried this, and it didn't work very well. Maybe for other people it will, but you know, maybe with some dowsing expertise and all that stuff, but generally no. What you're actually finding here is, especially if you're interpreting it into our modern day and age, is hidden treasures become opportunities. business opportunities, and all such things, which can bring you. They're hidden because you haven't seen them yet. You haven't found them. I do know. It was this past week actually. Sarah Mastros was talking about this particular thing, and asked a particular spirit to find hidden treasure for her. And what happened was, the spirit pointed her to a bank vault, and guarding the bank vault are security, which would therefore be the spirits guarding the treasure. So it gets interpreted in a variety of different ways, but the way I usually interpret that nowadays is opportunities which haven't shown themselves to you yet. Yeah, so that's how I would look at that anyway. Or pointing you to a bank vault that you can't get into. You know. I can't find anything on Brodo, by the way. If you give me a timestamp, I can always go back and leave a comment. Figure out what I said. But my daughter does tell me I should stop mumbling so much. Correct, but hidden treasure was a wide range of meaning. Mostly it is something you already have, but not realizing its value. Oh, that's another one, yeah. So it is hidden to you, yeah. That's also quite valid. Bobby Walker, what do you all think about this circus and psyop called Disclosure in the USA? How long will it last? Or maybe aliens are actually visiting us? Or maybe Jacques Vallée has a point. Oh, is this thing where the aliens are coming in 2027 or something? I don't follow that shit. I don't know. There is so much garbage. Every time this comes up, I get excited and go, "The Galactic Federation's here." But yeah, there's so much rubbish out there about this stuff. Unbelievable. I still need to read that Jacques Vallée. I'm going to actually add that Jacques Vallée book to the list of book club books. Oh, it's Vallée. Crackbite, above Walker. Oh, I actually heard of that, and I'm interested in the topic, but nobody seems to speak about it since it's a pretty hard topic to talk about. Casa, I've been reading Ask Goetia. I've been reading because I was bored. Okay. It's a good book to read if you're bored, I suppose. Depends which version you're reading. Crowley's version is a bit more entertaining, it's got more stuff in it. Tetra. Hello, Tetra. It's been a while, it has indeed. Is Covenstead still doing alternate weeks on Patreon? No. What I'm doing now, what I've decided to do is do Covenstead at this time, as this starts at 2 PM GMT now. I'll do this for 2 hours. Then I have an hour to eat and all that stuff. And then what I'm going to do is, it depends on the week. So it's either going to be a masterclass, a workshop, or Patreon book club. So that's what I'm doing there. But Covenstead's every week now. I enjoy this too much, and I think it was also very confusing about which days I'm on Patreon and which days I'm on YouTube. I was getting confused. computer spirits haven't been too bad this week. I thought I was going to get a lot more trouble. Well, now everything's just freezing. Come on. There we go. My computer's catching up now. Crackbot, I'm just interested in the sightings for entertaining reasons. Me too. It is quite entertaining. I don't believe in an alien life form that's visiting the Earth and stuff. I wouldn't put it out of the range of possibility, but the shit that people are talking about with all the different races and what was it? I can't remember the names of them now. Anyway. Weird shit going on. Bevy Morco, if USA wanted to reveal anything and had anything to reveal, they would have either done it long ago, the game has been going on for 80 years, or hushed up the topic and we wouldn't even know. Yeah, but they're all talking about all this new information coming out and all of the people behind the scenes revealing stuff that they weren't allowed to reveal. All that rubbish. But yeah. If the aliens come to Earth, I'll say how's it, but I'm just not going to bother pursuing it. No. James, hello James. I've started looking forward to Sundays. Cheers for these sessions. Oh, absolute pleasure. I enjoy them myself. Driving more car. About it. Meanwhile, we have. Oh, hang on. You said all. We have a reality show and psychological manipulation of society. Oh yes, I know. Yeah, stupid reality shows as well. Tetra, for a beginner, would you recommend Condensed Chaos or Liber Null? I'd actually recommend both, to be honest with you. Liber Null is what Peter J. Carroll wrote for the IoT as a kind of like a grimoire, a manual for the foundational practices, how to get started in magic. So it's a brilliant book, and it's written from that perspective of being beginner friendly, beginner practices. And with Liber Null, you're also going to get Psychonauts because the two books come together. But Condensed Chaos by Phil Hine is excellent. Phil Hine was great. He was fantastic. He still is. But yeah, Condensed Chaos is more of a kind of a broader look at what chaos magic is. So I'd read both. I really would. Psych Sundays have been learning days for me. That's a pleasure. Shag Master. You're not going to give up on that, are you? Tetra can be loud, but I'm not in the circumstance to be loud because I live with my parents. Okay. Why do you want to be loud? I like being loud sometimes. My neighbours hate me, I think. Although I hate my neighbours sometimes. Especially the ones downstairs. They're pretty new and they keep playing their bloody music loud. Like 6 o'clock in the morning I can hear their radio going. Well, I don't want to listen to your radio. Actually, the ones downstairs I've gotten rid of like, I think this is the 3rd or 4th family that's been in that unit downstairs. Every time there's somebody moves in, my daughter actually mentioned a very good thing. So what I do, I don't like the people that move in. So I do magic to get rid of them and they leave. And then somebody else comes in and they're a pain in the ass as well. So my daughter did mention, it's very valid, that when I do the magic to get them to leave, also do magic to get good neighbours. And I didn't think about that one. Yeah. But anyway. Where am I? Oh, no, by loud I mean I can't do something for magic that would draw attention. Oh, okay, that's fine, you don't have to. Most of my stuff I do is in Astral Temple, Journey Work, scrying, all of that sort of stuff anyway, so I don't make much noise myself. Bobby Walker, Visual Magic, a manual of freestyle shamanism by Jan Fries. Anyone know? Excellent. Jan Fries is really, really good. I'm not sure why Jan Fries hasn't become controversial, to be honest with you, especially when it comes to Halruna. Because in Halruna, he speaks about the yoga the physical positions of the runes, and he did write the book before this became kind of mainstream bad thing. So we can forgive him for that, but I don't know why it hasn't become controversial. But because all the runic yoga thing comes from Guido von List, who was a huge big influence on the Nazi regime, and anybody who kind of follows Guido von List, he was also a racist and a white supremacist and everything else. So you know, you kind of go in the same vein as that person who created that. You know what I mean? He created runic yoga. It wasn't something ancient. He just made it up. You kind of like you start falling into the same energy currents as the neo-Nazis. So yeah, just be careful about those things, especially in heathenry and stuff. But no, Jan Fries is absolutely amazing. There's another one you'll actually probably like by Jan Fries is Sather. Is it called Sather? No. These books, because it's also from a shamanic perspective. It's just Seidways, Seidways. It's also very, very good. Agatha, remember Uncle leaves the list at 32. Not just notice. Was that the book list? That's actually the I'm suggesting a lot of those books in the Patreon book club if you want to join that. Castle and Bella live alone. I don't, but I make noise anyway. If anybody wants to complain, they can complain. I don't care. But I'm at that age now. I don't give a shit. So. Agatha, Young Fees is over my head. It does get a bit complicated, I must say. And yeah, there are some things about Jan Fries which he must be doing some rather interesting magic to keep himself relevant. A lot of controversial stuff he writes about. Appropriatively as well. Fallen Angel. Any book, please, of how to learn cursing magic to curse animal abusers. I don't really know. I don't really read such books. I just do the magic. I'd suggest reading through the PGM, but that's going to be a slog. But we were talking about this last week, I think. I would just go straight to Hecate and speak to her about putting the whammy on these people. God, most of the gods, actually. I mean, cursing is just really a form of magic which is aimed at a particular purpose. Anyway, Alexis, thanks. Could the demons Baal and Beelzebub be the same entity? I've noticed that their sigils have many similarities. I would say no. I think they're very different. There's also a lot of Baals, which are... There's a lot of different ones, because Baal means Lord, and there are many, many lords, and there were many, many lords of different areas and places at that time during the for the Canaanites and things like that. So Beelzebub was just one of those lords. It was Beelzebub, Zebub, a mountain. I can't remember now. Let's see. Let's do some study while we're here, because I like doing the studies. Where is it now? Oh, it's Beelzebub. Beelzebub, the god of the Philistine city of Ekron. I'm trying to find out the mention of him being the lord of Zebub. Can't find it. There's all stuff about bloody Lord of the Flies here. It's always when you try and find the stuff. Oh wait, here's the etymology. Blobs above, blah 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 blah. Is Lord of the Flies. Okay, so Beelzebub is really translated as Lord of the Flies, or Lord of Flies. That's where that comes from, anyway. I thought Zebub was a mountain like I did, or something like that. Anyway, right. Sorry, let's get back to chat, because I'm in this place again. Where am I? Tetra. Sorry, I just need to close that. It's very bright. Tetra, I want to work with ancestral temples too, but I don't know where to start. The most info I got is the generic meditate and try to imagine, then it becomes natural. I do have a course if you want to go through that. I didn't put it into a book format. I'll put it in my temple training stuff. But yeah, there's a course if you want to go through that. It takes you through visualizations and stuff. But really it's about being a temple within yourself. It really is your own psyche. So you go inward. So you go into trance, and you kind of, the best way to do it, if you want to just go straight flat out, is go into a trance state and imagine yourself walking down steps that kind of go in a spiral. And what I kind of used to imagine, and still do sometimes, is like a stone passageway that's winding down in this clockwise direction. Or you can do it counterclockwise, depends on how you feel. But going in this clockwise direction, you just keep walking down and down and down and down and down. Eventually you get to this space at the end, and there's doors, and you open the doors. I usually go through a process with people I teach this stuff to firstly go and find a key. But the key is not absolutely necessary, but I do like it myself. So you find a key, and it's usually a symbol or something that you can actually open the door with, right? Then you find doors, you open the doors. You don't need the key, just open the doors. And then you step in. That's your temple. So from there, you start building it. You can imagine it as a cathedral. You can imagine it as a huge big library. Mine is like an antechamber with well, it used to be doors. Now I've kind of had to create different levels to mine. I've got all these different spaces I go to. So with the antechamber, it's got the 4 directions. The door is the sun direction, and then there's a thingy in the middle that I kind of twist in one direction or twist in the other direction. I go up or down, and then I go to different spaces within my temple. So, it's about building what you want to build. And you can have an antechamber with doors that lead off into different places. where you can go and do magic, you can go and do meditation in another one, you can go and meet the spirits in another one. You can step out from your temple into the other worlds as well. Don't bring anybody or anything into your temple. Don't bring gods and goddesses and spirits and demons and everything into your temple. That's your space. That's your own psyche. You don't want them to mix with your psyche. Okay? So what you do is you have these doors which you then step through into the other worlds, and then you can step back. You just do the reverse when you return. Just step back into your temple, close the door, and then come back to normal self. So that's what it really is. It's just about building your temple, and it's an inner space. It's your space. It's your own personal psyche that you're working with. James, I would suggest reading the PGM, but it is a bit of a slog. So many clips. It's a bit of a study. Yes. Yeah, bold equals lords, verb equals fly. I honestly thought it was a mountain or something. I don't know where I was getting that from now. But, yeah. Crack bite, and it refers to the flies that are considered pests like mosquitoes. There is another interpretation of that, though, that it's not flies as in the pest. It's actually he's the lord of flying, as in the action of flying, and therefore a lot of people actually relate it to airplanes and flight and stuff like that. So there's another interpretation there. Tetra and Alexis. I've also heard Beelzebub. I don't know if someone just made a portmanteau of the two names. Oh, there's lots of different ways to actually spell that and pronounce that name. Depends on the culture that it comes from or got like filtered through. Castle, just have them read the Picatrix. Oh God, no. God, please do not pick up the Picatrix. That's not fun at all. And you have to be an astrologer to actually understand what the hell is going on there. And to work out all the blinds. Yeah, because there's a lot of shit that went into that the author purposely put in there to steer people away from it. But the Picatrix, no, don't do that. Etc. The thing with visualizing is, and I've tried really hard to overcome this, it's where I keep seeing things from a third person point of view, and I just can't get myself to see things from first person. That's okay. It really just takes practice. Eventually you'll get to it, and if you're seeing in third person, that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You're still visualizing, and that's the main thing. Then just start building. You can actually view it a bit like being inside a gaming world. And inside some gaming worlds, you are the third person perspective or point of view. In other gaming worlds, you are the first person. And usually in the first person, the world has a particular sphere, and you are in the center of the sphere, and anything beyond that sphere hasn't been created yet. So as you move, that sphere moves into this unknown space and keeps getting created. And that's very similar to what we're talking about in astral work. And stuff like that. So, but it's just keep practicing. It's something that some people have to work at. I did myself. So, don't feel like you're alone. Crackbite. Well, whatever happier version of an evil devil works for anyone. Alright, got 5 minutes left, and then I'm going to off. I've actually got Sarah Mastros's Solomonic Magic class, first one today. Pretty excited about that. Oh. James, first person versus third person, it doesn't diminish the experience aspect. Even in gaming, do you find Joel in Last of Us imparted less emotional experience? You will stop analysing it eventually. Yeah, kind of. And I think eventually, if you carry on practicing, eventually you're probably just going to shift into first person narrative naturally. You know. Andrea's here. Hello. I'm going to go now. Why are you on so late? We started 2 hours ago. You've been doing your garden again. Fallen, have a good day. And you, have a good one. Let's see what Andrea has to say for herself. Tetra, how much effort, time did it take for you to get your first tangible result for magic? Oh god, I can't remember. And it depends what you're talking about as well. I was terrible at visualization and doing journey work, doing this kind of stuff we're talking about now. I was awful at it. It took a long time. I do remember doing a spell very early on, but by then that was when I got married and my wife was pregnant. I've been doing magic before then, a few years before. I do remember the first time, actually two. I do remember going to visit Pan. It was a suggested path working, and I went and visited Pan, and that was interesting because I came back and I opened my eyes and there was an acorn on the floor and we didn't have any oaks around. So I think I've still got that acorn actually. God, that was 30 years ago. Yeah, it depends what you're referring to as well, whether it's spell work, whether it's journey work, whether it's, it all came at different times. And the way my brain works with time is very scattered. So, asking me 30 years back, if I started doing something, how long did it take me? I don't have a fucking clue. It's all scattered for me. So it's very difficult to say, really. But I am one of those people who battled with all of this stuff. I have to really, 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 really work at it. So, Andrea, sorry, I've been busy with the rescue cat and kittens. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good XP. First tangible results of magic equals being incarnated. I suppose so, yeah. In this particular existence, yes. That's a valid point. Castle's been worried about you. Andrew said Miss Tibbs had been sneaking into the house to eat Jasper's food and had 2 kittens inside the sofa. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cute. Alright, I'm going to say cheerio then. Tetra, I want to get a moment where I can say that. Oh, hang on, I just put that off. I want to get a moment where I can say, dang it, oh, this is real. I know how you feel. I do. I think everybody does. Oh, sorry, you said I think it is real, but I just want that wow moment to show up eventually. Yeah, I'd actually been practicing magic for years, probably about 10 or 15 years, and I was still at that stage where I was like, show me some some proof. I want some proof. It wasn't long after that I went through my big Dark Night of the Soul. So there was that. But yeah, even now I kind of doubt myself. You know, kind of need that proof that this is all real. And I've seen all the evidence and everything; it's all there, but still doubt myself. So it's not something that ever goes away, I don't think. Right. Yeah, Castle said it will happen. It will. Just keep doing the work. It will happen. You'll see it. Right, I'm gonna go. And everybody next week. Okay. Have a good one. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the chat. Really enjoyed it.